Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Aurora Stefrak and here I am today to deliver you the weekly intuitive energy update for the week of September 6th, 2021. I almost said 2019, that was weird. 2021. So this is a timeless reading. So basically whenever you find this is when the information is needed for you at this time. Say you're like, oh my god, universe, provide me a sign, and then you find this video even though it's past the week. Don't worry about it, because you're always in divine timing. You're always exactly where you're supposed to be. So don't worry about the time, don't worry about anything, because all that is kind of losing its meaning these days anyway, right? So tapping into the spiritual side of life and being able to go with the flow and not be so rigid. Yeah, it's really, really powerful thing to be able to embody. Today is a little bit windy. Excuse me. So I'm camping out in the back of my car at my house to give you guys the update. Yeah, so welcome if you are new. I really would appreciate it if you can leave a comment below. Let me know how you resonate with something, or if you resonate, or if you don't even, because I am fascinated to hear back from all of you guys. The flies here are insane as well. So we're gonna test my presence while the flies are here today. Okay, so we're gonna just get right into it. I have like a cute little like chakra thing that I made up today so that you guys can get the visual of what I'm saying instead of just words, because I know that it gets a lot and it gets overwhelming. So I want to start, like, I actually channeled this drawing and I was like, okay, just tapping in, and with each chakra I like gave them each like what my own intuition was kind of guiding me with. So yeah, I'm really excited to use that to show you guys, because we're actually shifting chakras this week. I've been talking a lot about the head and the heart, and we're shifting to the throat and the solar plexus now, which is, you know, connecting to our power and speaking our truth, right? So yeah, and of course, you know, head and heart, it's an ever-evolving practice to come back to your center, to come back to yourself. But this week, the energy shifting into supporting speaking your truth and standing in your power. Okay, so I am just going to start with the new moon in Virgo. That is actually today, right now, Monday. So, September 7th. So we're in new moon energy right now. And what that means is that this is like a new beginning. This is like the start of a new cycle. This is when the sun and the moon are actually close together. And that's why, you know, the moon is dark, because during a full moon, they're actually opposing each other. And that's what the moon's reflecting the sun's light. And that's why it's illuminated, right? So right now we're in the shadow phase of the moon. And it's not dark, but like dark as in like a negative, like it is the dark moon, but it doesn't have to be. Like a lot of the time it's like where we kind of have our reset every month of like what's going on. So maybe like if you start following the moon cycles, you might notice that at every point in the same of the month, like at every part of that moon cycle, you're experiencing similar energies. It's probably because you're starting to connect to the cycles of the earth and the rhythm of the earth and like the universal rhythm. And so then you're starting to kind of have that awareness. Oh, I'm in this energy every few weeks. Why am I doing this? What's going on? And then you start asking the questions and the answers start coming, right? So yeah, this is a very good energy to start like planting seeds, like start saying, what is it that I want? Like really getting in touch with your wants and with your needs, and kind of like coming to a place of like, you know, what it is that you want to let go of as well, right? Because for every beginning, it's also an ending, right? So, so yeah, like we're ending things and we're beginning right now in this new moon energy. And it kind of aligns with everything, especially like if you're from Canada or like North America in general. School's starting again and everyone's kind of getting back into that routine, and none of us really know like how long it's all going to stay in place, what's really going to happen. It's all up in the air. So to be able to have a practice, to be able to have a, you know, connection with yourself, and to come back to yourself, and to not be connected, like not connected, but reliant on external circumstances, like your job, or even your home. Like, yes, of course, like, I'm not saying we're gonna lose it, but not being attached to that. Like, if you hear the call to leave, can you follow through? Right? If you hear the call where it's like, no, I can't leave all my things behind, because, like, well, what's more important, like needing to flee or keeping your things, right? So, like, if you are really solid in your own intuition and in your own knowing and in your own guidance system, you know, and these are unfortunately kind of like sort of realistic things that we're having to start to think about, right? So it's definitely not something that I spend a lot of time like thinking about, of like, oh no, like what's gonna happen, because I know that we're protected, and I know and I trust myself to be able to navigate whatever comes, because this is basically what I've been training for lifetimes. It's what I do every lifetime here. I come and I, you know, implement new teachings, I do what I need to do, and then I fuck off and I get out of here, right? And so it's the same thing. Here I am to stand in this position, to be the leader, to be the teacher, to give this information, and it's like, this is my path and purpose. So I already know I'm gonna stay. I need to be here. This is something that I've already agreed to, soul contract, and now I'm like, my human's up to speed. Like, yeah, okay, cool. So now, you know, my human is like catching up to my higher self, to my soul, to my spiritual essence, right? So, and it's like, when you start to like realize what's really important to you, and you start connecting to your own essence, then like the chatter, all the extra energy, all the things that used to pull you in all the directions just don't have power, because your power comes from your attention. Your power comes from your focus, right? So it's like, where are you putting your energy? Where is your power? Like, all these things I'm bringing up right now, because this is the energy, right? Like, as I'm speaking, I really invite you to, like, you know, be the observer of your own life with everything that's kind of channeling through me right now. And then you are able to be activated into new levels of awareness, into new levels of perception, right? Okay, so cool. Yeah, so this new moon, it's in Virgo. So Virgo is all about health. Virgo is an earth energy, but it's very focused around like, my body is my temple, the healthy self, the healing in general, like really being knowledgeable, and really like organizing things and having a system for things to flow. Okay, so with this new moon, right, so this is how you can take two energies and understand how they play together. Because if you understand the energy of the new moon and you understand the energy of Virgo, then you can marry them, and you can understand the energy that they play together, right? So it's like, we can look at it in the sense of like new beginnings, like letting go of things that aren't serving you. So this is in the category of health, right? This is in the category of, you know, food, diet, exercise, sleep, nutrition, I'll even say, because I know I said food, but nutrition's you know, it's deeper than just food, right? It's like, are you being nourished? Are you getting what your body needs, right? And most of us are not. Actually, this is so funny. It's so funny that, okay, yesterday I got Dairy Queen. Like, I always thought Dairy Queen was just an ice cream store, but I mean, obviously it's evolved, and I don't go there. So my friend brought me to Dairy Queen the other day, and she got a burger, and like, I had a bite of it, and like, yesterday, so I was doing some running around. I went and I got Freshie because I was really hungry, and I was like, man, I'm gonna get some food. And so I ate a few bites of that. I did my thing. I kept shopping, and then I finished what I needed to do, and I was like really hungry again. And I was like, oh my God, I was just craving a Dairy Queen burger. So what did I do? I went to Dairy Queen. I got a burger. I got some fries, and I got a milkshake, and it was so good. Like, I have not enjoyed food for a long time. Like, there's a lot of people that struggle with food in the sense of like eating too much, and for me, I don't eat, you know, like, not because I don't think I'm beautiful, not really all these like, you know, mental things. It's just like, my body, like, if I'm stressed, if I'm worried, if I'm like on go, like I don't even think to eat. Like it's like I only eat because I know I need to. And like that's not really enjoyable. Like I really don't like living like that, but that's kind of become my pattern over the years of inhabiting this vessel, right? And so I mean, for me to just enjoy like a fast food restaurant, it was just really nice. It was really nice, and I like shoved it all back and I ate it, and I was like, oh my god, so good. And then I felt like shit. I was like, oh my god, this is why everybody feels like shit, because this is normal for people to do. It's normal for you to be on the go, okay, get some fast food for, you know, all the kids and me and whatever, but then it's like convenience strips away the nutritional value of what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're eating, what it is, you know, just in general, right? And so, you know, really just bringing that awareness around like your reliance on, you know, fast food. I don't know who that's for, but that's just what is coming through to really like start thinking about. And this Virgo energy, like you might already have started thinking about it, and this could just be confirmation for you, right? Or I could be planting a seed right now in your consciousness for you to go, oh shit, you know, like food. What is food? What is food to me? You know, like, is it like, for me, for example, I said it's just something that I need to do to keep me alive. like literally, it's not something I enjoyed. It's just like I need it. So then when I eat more towards like healthier foods, because I don't, like, I want to make sure I'm getting what I need, right? Like for me, it's like I could be starving and I can eat like 10 almonds, maybe a bit more than that. We'll say like 15 almonds, and like I feel good. Like my body is just meant for like little increments of food, and of course to like to have proper meals is healthy as well, and I do. But that's more my style. Like I'm a pecker. I'm a pecker. Sorry. Welcome to the real life of Aurora. Sometimes shit comes out of my mouth and I'm like, that's not what I meant. Slow down. Okay, I'm a pecker apparently. Anyway, I peck my food, okay? So I just like peck throughout the day. Okay, so yeah, get to the point. What is your relationship with food? How is your diet? How is your nutrition? How is your physicality? How do you feel within your body after you eat certain foods? Like, do you even have that awareness? Do you even know how you feel? Like, do you even put two and two together? Like, wow, I feel like shit all the time, but I eat like shit all the time. So what is that, like, where is that disconnect for like a lot of humanity, right? A lot of like Western culture anyways. Yeah, so that's really, really important. So maybe like do like a little food journal, food diary, and kind of keep track of that, because this Virgo energy that we're in is really, really, really begging to be seen and to be heard so that we're healthy. And I mean, we're in a global pandemic. But, so, you know, it's just good to make sure that you're on top of it, right? Making sure you're getting your vitamin C and your vitamin D and all these different things, right? So if you don't know where to even begin, go to a health food store and say, hey, I don't know where to begin, but I want to make sure that my body is getting what it needs. Like, people that work there are paid to sell and to be knowledgeable of the products that they have, and like they're there for us to go and buy, right? So take advantage of that living in a modern day, and yeah, make sure that you're taking your vitamins every day if you're not getting them from your food. And mind you, some vitamins you actually can't even get, like you have to eat, like your body doesn't produce it, so you have to make sure that you're getting that so that your body can function properly. Very complex process, but kind of simple at the same time. Like, you know, just make sure that you hit the markers and you should be fine. Okay, enough about food. Oh yeah, okay, so then I have go within to hear your needs as well. Okay, so go within to hear your needs. So like the world is kind of falling down around us, and like we don't know what to do. None of us know what's going to happen. In Canada, like they're stripping our rights away if you're not going to get vaccinated. And I mean, it's just complete, total, utter bullshit. Like anyway, I'm not even going to get into that. But when you're in moments like this, when you're in moments of uncertainty, when you're in moments of despair, when you're in your shadow, when you don't know what to do, stop doing anything. Just chill the fuck out. You know, breathe, connect to your breath, connect to your primordial energy, connect to your life force energy, connect to your heart, connect to your mind, like connect to your body. Like, it's all the answers are right here, right now. We just have to shut the fuck up and listen. We have to be able to quiet our mind, quiet our emotions, quiet our heart. And when I say quiet, I just mean stop feeding into them and like making your anger more angry and this and that by just not acknowledging, fuck, I'm angry right now. Like, why am I so angry? What's going on? And listening. Why am I so angry right now? It could be as simple as, hey, back to the food. You need to eat. You didn't eat today and you need to eat, or you haven't had enough water, or you didn't get enough sleep. And once you know that, you can take care of that. And that's really this Virgo energy of like that awareness of your physical health, right? So it's like of just your health in general, right? So like learning how to provide for yourself, right? Learning what your needs are and learning how to take care of yourself. Because I understand this comes from a deep place of compassion, love, and understanding. I mean, even in my own life, I've had times when I'm like, I don't know what to fucking eat. Why don't I eat? Because I don't know what to eat. Like, what I was taught to eat growing up, it doesn't feel good in my body. And not because we ate really bad or like anything like that. It's just the evolution of like our meat suits, of our physical bodies. We're rising in vibration. When we align our chakras, when we have all of this in check and it's aligned and it's open, we're at such a high vibration that like you don't want the shit. You don't crave the things. You don't do the old things that you used to do because you're fulfilled. And the reason you used to do the things that you used to do is because you were not nourished, you were not sustained. So you'd come from a place of lack, from a place of emptiness, from a place of stagnation, from a place of uncertainty, from a place of fear, whatever lower energy that we want to put on it. And that's where you would live from. And there's nothing wrong with that. And maybe you're doing that right now, and that's totally okay. But it's like, what are you going to do to bring awareness into the situation, to, empower yourself, speak your truth, and actually implement an action to tether those together. And it doesn't need to be next level. Like, you don't have to do anything crazy. Like, even the awareness of it, then when you go grocery shopping next time, maybe you buy new things. Maybe you're like, okay, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going to find new things that I want, and I'm going to do da-da-da-da. And make that a priority in your life, right? And it's going to help your energy. It's going to help everything. And then, like, I haven't even touched on the energetic side of taking care of ourselves, right? And so, like, that's just the physical. Like, being a human is a lot. And then, I mean, if you have one person, and then, which is you, and then you have kids, say, and then you have a partner, and then you have a mom and a dad and sisters and brothers and friends and blah, 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 blah. It's a lot. But you're not going to be able to take care of all that and sustain all that if you're not right here, if you're not centered, if you're not taken care of, if your cup is not full, right? So how do we fill our cup, right? And I mean, huge shifts in the health area, especially like global pandemic right now, right? Like, that's what's going on. This is the collective energy. Do you ever look out into the world and just see it objectively instead of being so emotionally attached and go, wow, look at where humans are at. It's just so fascinating, isn't it? You know, and just come at it from this higher perspective and being the observer. And like, a lot of people might interpret that as like, you think you're better than me. And it's like, well, that's just your projection onto me. And because I'm a higher being in the sense of like my consciousness is at a higher level of understanding, then I understand that you're just projecting onto me. And I'm just going to send you love because that's kind of what you're lacking right now. Because you're projecting your shadow onto me, thinking that, you know, I'm better than you, or whatever, you're jealous of me, or whatever your belief is, or your projection. It's like, I'm just a clear mirror, right? People can look at me and go, oh my God, you're so beautiful and I love you and all this stuff. And I say, I'm just a mirror of you. I'm just a reflection of you. And then somebody can say the worst things ever in the world to me, and I can say the exact same thing. And it's neutral. It's like, yeah, well, you're just a reflection of me. Or sorry, I'm just a reflection of you, and vice versa, right? So say someone is coming up to you and they're like shitting all over your face. You have to be able to basically take a step back from that. Think objectively. Say, okay, is there somewhere that I need to take responsibility for my actions? Or is there somewhere that they need to take responsibility for their actions? Like, is this me? Is this mine? Am I carrying my own shit right now? And you'll know. You'll feel it within you. If you say, is this mine? And breathe into it. And say, anything that is not mine, please leave. And breathe into that. And if your energy shifts, then you're carrying someone else's energy. And like 99% of the time we are carrying other people's energy, right? And we internalize it and we think it's our own. And then that's why we get down all these self-destructive habits, because we're like, oh no, like this happened and it made me think this about myself. And then I decided to go down this path and now here I am, like feeling like a piece of shit. When the truth of it is, like, you just feel like a piece of shit. And so you do things that, or attract things into your reality, because like attracts like. If I'm going to be positive and upbeat and something happens and I choose to see the situation and be positive and upbeat and flow with it, then that's the reality that I'm creating. Or I can be shitty and pessimistic and say, fuck this shit, I hate everything. And then something bad happens and it just confirms what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling. Well, fuck life, you know, like fuck this shit, whatever. And so realizing your responsibility in the manifestation and co-creation of our reality is very fucking important, because it just makes life easier. It makes it easier for you to understand what is mine and what is not. And most of it is not, because if you're in a human vessel and anywhere in the world, there is societal programming that has been put upon you. You've come into this world with ancestral programming. There is so much that is in your DNA, that is in your blood, that isn't yours, but is your responsibility because it is in you, right? So it's about processing and transmuting and realizing I am a divine being of light and love, and I came here to teach compassion, and I came here to understand people, and I came here to be of service, and I came here to love and teach and help people. And that's the place that I'm going to come from, where if anything does happen, I go, why did I create that? Why did I make that happen? Like, what was that trying to show me? And coming from this place of like curiosity and innocence and just purity, to understand, and neutrality is a really, really big one too. Just to understand like what even happened, because I know a lot of the time in our lives, like it's like a slippery slope, right? So we don't even know why we feel what we feel, because, well, guess what? We've never really been taught to feel. We've always been taught, like as a girl, like, oh, you feel too much and you're too much and you're too sensitive and and men, they're not even allowed to feel. Well, pussy, like, what do you think you're crying for? Like, whatever. So then what do men do? They bottle it up. They can't fucking breathe. They can't speak their truth. They can't stand in their power. A woman wants you to, you know, love on them and be the masculine, but how can you be the masculine when the feminine is just as wounded the masculine, and you guys can't fucking be in your places that you're supposed to be in, because she's trying to give and he's trying to receive, and like it should be the other way, whereas technically there's a balance between each one, but whatever. You know, and you guys are like in opposite roles, because society has led us, like especially in my lifetime, like I have been a masculine energy in my life because I've had no fucking choice. I haven't had the masculine in my life to be the masculine. So what did I do? What did my mom do? What did my sister do? What did we all do as women? We became the fucking men, and we said, okay, fine, we don't need a man, you know? We don't need a man. We can do all this on our own. And we're gonna do it all on our own because we're fucking strong and independent. But it's fucking nice to have a man. It's nice to have somebody there that can provide for you, that can protect for you, that can financially support you, that can emotionally support you, that can physically support you, that can sexually support you. Because, man, that's a fucking deep wound here in the collective, right? So it's like, what is it that you are carrying that isn't yours? And like this energy this week, especially focusing on our health, is like, yeah, like I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to empower. Like that fucking throat chakra is being activated. Solar plexus. We've spent the last few weeks at least in the head and heart. And I kind of felt like a broken record last week because I was like, okay, I've already said all this, but apparently we're still in the energy, right? And it always comes out in different ways. It depends on my energy. It depends on how I'm feeling. It depends on so many different things as to what comes through every week, right? So yeah, just really being aware. Are you carrying your someone else's energy? Are you in your own energy? And learning how to clear our energy. And you know, a few weeks back I was doing, actually I think it was just last week, I was teaching how to clear energy with our hands. So again, I'll just touch on it real quick in case you didn't see that video. So like our hands are healing hands, okay? Our hands are an extension of our heart. So the energy that we can filter through this this is connection, this is unity, this is because we have energy lines called meridians in Chinese medicine, or nadis in Ayurvedic teaching and yoga. And when we do this, we are connecting our heart. We are unifying our heart. And that's why we do this, right? To connect. So I'm actually just going to invite you right now to close your eyes with me and to connect to your breath. Obviously, like if you're driving or you're doing something that you shouldn't be, like no problem, don't join. But if you can, I just want you to sit here and I want you to feel the palms of your hands coming together, and I want you to hold it right at your heart center. And I just want you to connect to your breath. Take a nice deep breath in and a nice deep breath out. And I want you to just feel into the energy that's just sitting right here, just by the power of connecting your hands together and putting them on your heart and giving yourself 10 seconds, whatever you want, 5 seconds, 30 seconds, 5 minutes, to just sit here in this energy and to connect, slow down all the thoughts in your mind, connect to your physical body, connect to your breath, like say thank you for all the things your body does for you, even though you probably don't nourish it, right? And I've thought of this a long time. In my drug days, I was like, wow, like, thank you, body. Like, I was really mean to you. I was not nice. I gave you nothing, and I took everything, okay? And so just connect to that. See what memories come up. See what filters through your consciousness as you're connecting, and feel that connectedness. And sometimes, too, holding your own hand. Sometimes that connection, that a lot of the time, like when I go to bed, when I'm sleeping, and like I'll like lay on my side and I'll like have my hands out, like I'm all stretched out, and I'll just like hold my own hand because it's comforting. And you know, like it's just, I know energetically it's creating that connection, right? So so yeah, that was that little thing. So you can just practice that. Come here and connect to your breath. And you can even connect your breath and some movement. So if you want to inhale and rise your arms above your head, and then exhale and come back to your heart. And on your inhale, you rise. And you do that, and then it connects your body and your mind. And that way, if you can't get out of your head, maybe that will help you. Okay, cool. And then so what, the hand energy. So now that I got all that out of the way, so now something that you can do more on the go, if like, you know, you don't have time to sit there even for 5 seconds, you just use your healing hands and you say, all right, I'm going to clear all this energy that is not mine. I am going to clear all this energy that is not mine. And you just take your hands and you brush your body and you clear the energy that is not yours, and you do this until you feel lighter, till you feel the energy has left your body. Sometimes it can take a minute, but it's all really about your belief and your thought, because for me it's like I can clear my energy just like that. Okay, done. That snap, like any sound, that, like I was at like a women's circle on Saturday, and we commanded our chakras open, and I was like, wow, it is that easy actually. So like we went through each chakra and we did 3 claps, and we said open, basically. So it would be like at the crown, open, 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 open. And then sit in that energy. It really feels good. And the more you do these things, at first you might go, okay, this chick's crazy. What's she talking about? I got no idea how you feel all these things. It's just because you're not connected to your subtle body, your subtle energies, the subtle energy that's moving through the subtle energy that you are, right? Because we get lost in the physicality of this reality, and the truth is, it's not physical. It's physical, but it's actually 99 point something% empty space. So yeah, that's a whole nother can of worms, right? So, and it's all energy. We have the atom, and then we have protons, neutrons, electrons, whatever else is in an atom, probably more, but that's the basic. And it's mostly empty space. It's like these tiny little things orbiting around, electrons orbiting around with the protons and the neutrons in the center, and that's what everything's made of. Riddle me that, right? Crazy. So everything is energy is the point. Just because something appears to be solid doesn't mean that it is. Just because something appears to be something doesn't mean that it is. Like our government, right? Like, sorry to go so like right there, but I'm just gonna be real, right? Like our government, the way that they pretend like they care about us, yet they fucking smash fast food down our throat. They fucking support smoking and alcohol and all these things that are freaking awful for you. And, you know, like, it's just really not that beneficial. So they do their best, okay? I'll give them that. I mean, hey, I'm not the one running a country, so this is all coming from a place of being happy that I'm just a normal old human here. Normal old human. Okay, cool. So the Virgo New Moon, guys, I haven't even gotten into my list, so I'm going to try to get through this really fast. A lot of information came through, which is awesome, but I didn't anticipate all that. So I'm just going to read this list. Some of it we might have already talked about. Some of it I might not have said, but it's all just going to kind of pull it together. And then I have my cards that I'm going to pull. I have the Sacred Geometry, Angel Therapy cards, and the Beyond Lemuria deck. So we'll see what kind of comes through there. Okay, let's do it. So the first thing I have is remembering who we are. Okay, so this week, as we connect to our healthy selves, as we come to this place of really wanting to be in balance, to be healthy, like that's who we really are. Who we really are is somebody that's aligned, somebody that's healthy, somebody that's in tune. And who we're not is the place, the wounded place that we usually act from and that we usually create from. So what we're being asked right now is to remember who you are, because remember what you deserve. Remember that all the things that you come from that make you who you are. There might be parts of yourself that you've suppressed, or that you're embarrassed about, or that you're ashamed about, or that you just don't even remember. Like, I've been remembering things like, I remember as a kid, like, I forgot about this, like, you know, I've been remembering, like, oh, what jobs I wanted to do when I was a kid. Like, I was like, I wanted to be a police officer at one point, a forensic scientist, what else? Like, oh, I wanted to be in Cirque du Soleil because, like, I was a competitive gymnast as a kid. And then when I got older, I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. I want to be in the circus. So, I mean, I've literally wanted to be almost everything, like, under the sun. And I'm remembering because I'm like, oh yeah, that's my energy. My energy is like, you know, I love everything and I want to experience everything, and I love life. I love the human experience. I love the emotion. I love the darkness. I love the light. I love it all. I'm like, oh my God, I love it. I just love it. And that's not to say my human doesn't get like irritated and triggered and overwhelmed and unable to process it, but I still love it, right? It's still my life purpose. It's still my path to be here, to be in this space, to be the teacher, to be the role model. Yeah, so remembering who we are. It's going to be really, really big this week. And then it kind of ties into the next point here, which is integrating the I, integrating the ego. And I laugh because when I put integrating the I, like it's an I, like me, the I. but then it also relates to integrating the I, right? The third eye, and which is the ego, which is the mind, right? And so integrating the mind, which this can come up in ways of like your belief system coming out. Like, what is it that you believe? Do you limit yourself because you don't believe that you're worthy? Or do you limit yourself because, like, do you say no to things because you're like, oh no, I don't deserve that. Oh no, I don't deserve that. Or what about your money beliefs? Is that limiting you because you go, oh no, I can't afford that. Oh no, I could never afford that. That's crazy. Like, you know, these are limiting behaviors, limiting beliefs. Now, that's not to say that they're not true in that moment, but it is to say that you can overcome the circumstances that you're in, right? So it's all about perspective. It's all about kind of seeing the bigger picture, which of course, because it's the third eye, right? This is the third eye energies. I had to put it like this because it's like so expansive. It's like it goes up and it goes out. So it's just really, really fascinating. We got some people here. Smiling at random strangers coming down my driveway. Awkward moment. Now the whole world gets to see it. Okay. So remembering who we are and reconnecting, integrating with the I, with the ego, with like who I am as an individual. And like, that's why I'm saying go into your childhood, go into your human life. There are lessons that you've been carrying from different lifetimes that maybe it's now the time to integrate, which vows of poverty, guys. Vows of poverty is a really, really big one. I had to cut all my vows of poverty and say, fuck that shit. I'm going to be abundant. I'm going to be in bliss. I'm going to be living the life that I deserve this lifetime. Instead of like never feeling good enough or never feeling like I have enough to do this or feeling restricted in just my body and my mind and my soul and every fiber of my being, right? And so being able to realize like who you are is what's going to set you free. That's what's going to put you in alignment with your life, with you, okay? With your healthy habits. Okay. And then I have, so head and heart balance are still in process. Okay. The head and heart balance is still in process, but the third eye is being activated. So I have visual and auditory sensory. The sensory system's coming online. So our visual, our third eye, and being able to hear. Right? So again, this is why I have this, because our visual, look, it connects us to the cosmos and our physical reality, and our auditory. This allows us to hear beyond the words that are being said, right? I know for me, like I've been clairaudient my whole life. I didn't really know, but you know, because I've always listened. If you listen, then you're probably clairaudient. If you're guided by your intuition, you're probably clairaudient, right? Like that's because you're hearing, right? And so seeing is connected to hearing, right? Because in order for you to see, to receive that information and hear it and see it and to make sense of it all, that is what's being activated right now, okay? So it's like epiphanies. You might have a lot of epiphanies. You might have a lot of realizations. You might, you know, just get really motivated and like inspired to like do this thing that you really love to do that you didn't even know that you loved, right? So this is what I'm saying. So our visual and auditory sensory systems are coming online. So we're going to be able to hear, like say you've had tinnitus or you've had different things, like these are the higher frequencies trying to communicate with you. These are the higher frequencies coming in. And your guides and your angels and your higher self and all beings that are trying to communicate with you in the physical as well. This is the chakra that needs to be worked on for most of humanity that is being ignored, right? And thankfully for my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful first mentor, Hannah Andrews, from Reality Awareness, which she has a lot of free content from over the years if you're interested in going and checking her out, because she has a lot of meditation, she has a lot of information, she's a really, really knowledgeable and amazing, beautiful human being. So yeah, she's the one that introduced me. She's also the one that taught me the chakras from the top down, because you know, we've been taught in our society, in our reality, I guess, in our evolution of consciousness, from the ground up. The problem with that right now in 2021 is that we are so accessible to these energies, to these higher frequencies, okay? And this is all of our human stuff. This is I'll show you this. So I also drew this. So I drew a little one here. So this is the top 3 chakras are spiritual, the lower 3 are the physical, and then the heart is the center point. So I did these triangles to show you guys. This is the merging of them, because you anchor in your spirituality, and then you have to like liberate your physicality, your trauma, things that have kept you stuck here in the physical, in the body, in the mind. And you rise above that and connect it and purify it through the heart, and you anchor in the spiritual understanding. So what happens when you're physically, your physical health and your spiritual health are in alignment, and you've done the work to anchor that information up, and you've done the work to pull that and release that and let it go and give it back to source? Well, what happens is these 2 triangles get pulled together, and they meet like this at the heart space. And this is called your light body, or your Merkaba, or your Merkaba, or I don't really know how to pronounce it, but that's when our light body gets activated, which is our chakras. Like, guys, no coincidence that this is the rainbow. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, and then we threw some pink in there to add the ears, right? This is why it's called the light body. Like, we are the prism. The physicality is the prism of consciousness to go through. I mean, it's pretty fucking profound, really, when you start thinking about it, right? And so, like, the chakra system is not garbage. It's not new age spirituality. It's also not something that you want to totally be engulfed in and believe and think that it's like never going to evolve on its own, because let me tell you, the chakras have their own evolutionary journey as well. Our physical bodies are part of, you know, an entire evolution of consciousness, and this is just the form that we've taken, okay, for this lifetime. So being able to you know, ground down the spiritual and to, you know, rise up in our human life is what's going to activate our light body, okay? So yeah, so like I said, the visual and the auditory. So you might be seeing things and hearing things, or weird things might be happening. So just be aware. It was just 42 minutes and 42 seconds, and I've caught a few, but that was the first one that was like, tell it. Okay, and then unplugging from mass consciousness. Unplugging from mass consciousness. So like the Matrix, right? Unplugging from the collective. Unplugging from the narrative on the news. Unplugging from the beliefs that have been programmed into you. Unplugging from the beliefs that, you know, your mom or your dad gave you, but the one that's really true and sovereign to your being and to your vessel of like, this is actually my belief. And that's why I've had so much resistance towards connecting with that belief. It's like, well, what do you mean sexuality is something to be ashamed about? What do you mean having a body, being a woman, is something that I shouldn't be comfortable being, right? It's like, I was programmed into that because, yes, I am a woman and I live in our really fucking weird society sexually. And so that got projected onto me, and then I took it on as my own. And then I thought, oh, I'm gonna not tell people I do gymnastics, because then like they're gonna sexualize me, and that makes me really uncomfortable when I share something that I really, really love with somebody that I don't even know, and they're giving me googly eyes, and they're like, oh, you do gymnastics? And I'm like, yeah, that's not an invitation for you to visually fuck me right now. Like, that's weird, bro. And so that's the kind of energy that I've dealt with my whole life. And so it's like, okay, so standing in that power and in my sovereignty and in that knowing that I get to choose who I connect with in that way. And I have the power, and like that's something that I did a lot in, you know, becoming a woman and becoming an adult, was giving my body away and not really being connected with people sexually or emotionally or any real way, because I didn't know how to connect to myself that way because I was ashamed. Because I was like, oh, ew, to have like a fucking vagina and boobs is just like so embarrassing, and I'm ashamed of it, and like whatever. And I'm not saying, guys, these aren't my conscious thoughts. I'm not walking around all day going, oh my God, like everybody wants me. Like, no, it's like things would happen in my life. I'd get triggered. I'd shut down. I'd close myself off. I'd dim my light because I don't like that attention. And then I just become a shell. I just become hollow. I'm not me because I have to stop being me because I don't like how I'm being received, right? So it's like, what I could have done as well is just chosen not to engage in those people. But instead I internalize that, right? So it's so subtle in the way that we get programmed throughout our lives, right? And this starts right from the hop, right from childhood, right from the way that our parents interact with each other, right from the way that society teaches us all this stuff, right? So unplugging from the mass consciousness right now is what is gonna set you free. That is that. Stop thinking like everybody else. Start thinking like you. Start saying, what do I believe actually? Fuck what the news is telling me. Fuck what everyone else is telling me I think that I should be thinking or feeling or being or whatever. I'm going to listen to me, and I'm going to connect to me, and I'm going to know who the fuck I am, and then I'm unfuckwithable because I've already looked at my shadow. I've already put it on the table, and I've already fallen in love with most of my dark aspects, right? Of course, we're always evolving. But at this point in my life, like, I am very whole. Like, I have taken a lot of these experiences that I have had that have really hurt me in a lot of ways, and I use them to empower myself. I use them to go, okay, I'm just here to observe humans. I'm just here to see how humans work. Because the way the humans work doesn't really resonate with me. And so, I guess I'm just here to observe, right? And then that's where learning, like, I'm just the observer. That was my mantra for so long. I'm the observer. I'm the observer. I'm just here to observe. That was how I was able to get through my jobs that I knew were stepping stones that would get me to where I need to be. But I would lose my mind in the process. And then I found it, you know? Losing my mind was the best thing ever that's ever happened to me because it allowed for me to lose all judgment, to lose all programming, to lose all structures that keep me locked into mass consciousness, to what they want you to think, to not love yourself, to not want to take care of yourself before everybody else, because why do that? That's not true love. That's not what a mother would do. Yeah, actually, hey, secret, it is. It's what a fucking good mother would do. It'd be take care of you because you got to take care of them. And it's not about it looking picture perfect, but it's about knowing what your needs are. Being able to ask, being able to be in that place right here, centered all the time. All these aligned, right? So you connect to the divine and you connect to the earth. Okay, so unplugging from mass consciousness and connecting to your consciousness. Learning to be present and connected to your personal wisdom. Okay, guys, like Jesus, like we are so powerful. We as human beings have been lied to basically our whole lives about, well, fuck everything, like just to put it easy. And now we're learning how to reconnect to our own personal wisdom, to our intuition, to our gut. And that's why it's the solar plexus throat activation this week, because it's our sun, our solar plexus, our willpower, our self-worth, our sustenance, and our truth, our throat chakra, our authenticity, being able to communicate, being able to speak, being able to articulate what's going on in your head and in your heart. It's the bridge between the two, right? And so when we can access and open up that bridge between the two, and in our real life, we can stand in that power and really be in alignment with our authenticity and our truth and our integrity, then things flow, things align. But believe me, I know how much work it takes to get to this place, because there's so many things pulling on you, right? And so it's like one moment at a time. one breath at a time. It's okay. You're gonna get there, right? So yeah, learning to be present and connect to your personal wisdom. When you don't know what to do, what do you do? What I do is I go into my little bubble. I go to that place within myself. I ask myself, what is it that you need, Aurora? What is going on for you right now? How can I help you? Right? Instead of, oh, you're not good enough. Oh, you never fucking do it. Oh, wow, you need a nap today because you're fucking tired? Go have a nap. Figure it out. It's okay. Don't feel bad. Don't stress yourself out because of things that are out of your control. Like, if you need sleep, have a nap. If you need this, do that. And I know that it's not that easy, but when we learn to prioritize these things, it becomes easier, right? It's all just a learning curve. Okay. Yeah, and then I got throat chakra and solar plexus chakra activation. So like I did want to just like touch on this because so this is like kind of the head and heart, right? Okay, so this is where we've been, and we've been balancing the head and the heart and bringing them into coherence, which just means alignment, which just means that the thoughts that you're having and the feelings that you're feeling align. It's not like, oh, I'm having this thought and I'm having this feeling, so I'm feeling anxious because my mind and my heart are constantly battling, saying, no, don't feel that feeling. And the heart's saying, but I feel it. So how are you going to tell me not to feel it when I feel it? Like, no, don't feel that. That's just ridiculous. Well, this is really what I feel. This is my authenticity. This is my heart. I'm sensitive. I'm vulnerable. I'm open. I'm pure. And the heart just says, fuck you. Don't want to hear it. Don't give me that. Get up, do better, you got this, whatever. Like, while there's a time and place for that, there's a time and place to surrender. To surrender and be in your feminine and heal and process, right? So, this is where we've been. And now we are going down a chakra each, which is cool because we've now anchored in these new revelations, this new connection with the head and the heart. And now we're like, okay, I have head and heart coherence, which means that my throat chakra is activated now because I'm in alignment with my truth, with my head and my heart, and now I'm able to speak it and communicate it, and I'm able to stand in my power, right? I'm able to be powerful. I'm able to empower people. I'm able to say, girl, you look good today. I'm really proud of everything that you've been doing, or whatever, instead of being wrapped up in being jealous of that person that you just chose to compliment instead, right? Because it's like, and it needs to come from a place of being genuine too. It's not like, oh, well, Aurora says to go compliment everyone because it makes them feel good and da-da-da. Like, no, it needs to come from a place that is like, I feel it in my heart and I just want you to know that you're really beautiful. Or like when I did my yoga training, there was a girl there, and like it was actually so funny because we're all like sitting in the circle, we're doing our thing, whatever, and like we all get up to leave and we're all like leaving, and I like went up to her and I was like, hey girl, like just so you know, like you are so beautiful, like gorgeous, like so gorgeous, like I can't stop looking at you. And she loved it. She was like, oh my god, thank you. And like we had a little moment in a connection. It's like girls at a bar that are like, oh my god, you're so beautiful, oh my god, you too. And you have a little pep talk in the bathroom and then you go out and have a good time. Okay, it's like being able to connect to that, because that's the confidence. That's like, I know I'm worthy and I know that I'm beautiful, and just because I don't like meet some societal standard that's totally fucking bullshit anyway, I'm still worthy and I'm still beautiful and I'm still capable to live the life that I came here to live, right? Nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can take your free will. Nobody can take your choice unless you give it to them. And that's the little trick in all of this, right? It's 53:53. Okay, so then we have compassion with boundaries, right? So we have our heart is open now, but it has boundaries, it has rules, it has, you know, like, this is what I'll tolerate and this is what I won't. And that's where the mind comes in to protect that head and heart balance, right? It's like, yeah, I'm here to protect you, I'm here to keep you safe. And the heart says, oh my god, thank you so much, I've been waiting my whole life for you to say that to me. And then you can surrender and you can have that beautiful communication between the two, right? So yeah, compassion with boundaries. So that's really heart, throat, and solar plexus here, which really technically is all of them, because the head and heart kind of go together. Like you can't really get away from that, right? And so like now our 5 chakras are starting to kind of communicate. And the reason that this is so amazing is because these chakras up here are spiritual. Then we have the heart, which connects the spiritual and the physical. And then we have the physical chakras. So look, what do we have left after we have all these active? So what's going on? We're just going to forget about these for a minute because I'm sure they'll come. I'm sure they're coming. And so, because it's inevitable for them to be activated, right? So we have these chakras activated. I guess we'd even say 5 because I just put the crown in with the head, right? And the head and heart kind of are the crown and third eye, right? Okay, so look, head and heart balance, speaking our truth, standing in our power, boom, blasting. Look at us, look at us. We know our truth of our heart and our head, and we're connected to spiritual wisdom, and we see the big picture, and we can communicate, and we can live from our heart center, and we can be empowered and empower others and ourselves. And that's really all fine and dandy. But then guess what happens as it's 55-55, as we activate chakras? Guess what? It activates other chakras, because by us balancing our head and our heart, we can now activate our power center and our truth center. Well, then, as we empower ourselves, speak our truth, have our head and heart balance, guess what opens up to us? Our sacral and our base, right? This is why going from the crown down right now is so powerful, because guess what? This is where all of our trauma, all of our pain, all of our programming is stored. These chakras, yes, this one too, right? But this one is a bit different, because this one and this one is like, they're all 3 are lower chakras, right? So they all represent our physicality, but this is more about like our safety and our pleasure and our emotion. Like this is the seat of the soul, the sacral chakra. So the whole thing is, in order for us to be in our body and to be seated in our body, like our soul to be in our body, we have to be able to allow for our soul in through all these energetic bodies, right? We have to have these all balanced, or at least connected in some way, in order to access our intuition, our soul. So that's what's going to be being activated next, right? Because then our sacral gets activated, and this is like a very watery, emotional chakra. This is our sensuality. This is our pleasure center. This is our creativity. This is where, that's the womb, right? So in women, so this is our womb space. This is where all creation is manifested. This is where we create in anywhere in our lives, right? So if we have a disconnect from our feelings, from our body, from our pleasure, like I know for me, when I was depressed, I didn't know how to feel good. I didn't know. I don't fucking know, man. I have no idea how to do that. Like I've really mastered being sad, miserable, cranky, irritable, while also showing to the world that apparently I'm like happy. So like, you know, I wasn't able to connect to that part of myself, and makes sense, especially with the sexual trauma, right? So that is stored in our base chakra, our sexuality and our sexual trauma. Same with our ancestral trauma, a lot in these two. This one too, because it's our power, right? But definitely in our sacral and in our base, right? Sexuality, safety, security. So that could be financial, that could be relationships, that could be really anything, any safety, any security, and then the pleasure and the creativity behind it, and then our power center, and then our heart center, and then our truth, our authenticity, our integrity, our third eye, which is all about like seeing the bigger picture, spiritual understandings, being open-minded, and then our crown, which is connecting us to source, to our spiritual self, to our soul. Okay, and then the ears, of course, as well, which our listening, it's for listening, it's for hearing, it's for absorbing information, right? And the ears and the throat and the sacral are all very connected. Not going to get into that, but I just felt the need to put that out there. All right, I'm almost done my list. Oh yeah, and then my friend Chelsea, shout out to Chelsea, because I know she's going to be like, oh my God, Aurora shouted me out. So yes, I did, because I was talking to her this morning when I was writing all this stuff out. So she said, it's not because I didn't think I was worthy. It was because I knew I was worthy enough. So example, say a relationship, okay? Say you're in a relationship and it's like you're trying and you're trying and you're trying, or a job. And you're trying and you're trying and you're trying and you're like, what the actual fuck, man? Why is this not leaving up? Like, why is this, what's going on? And you leave. You say, fuck it, I'm out, I'm peace. And that's the mentality. You didn't leave, and they'll manipulate and turn around like, oh yeah, you can handle it, or this, that, whatever. And you stand in your power and you go, no, I just know that I deserve a hell of a lot more than dealing with all this bullshit for the rest of my life. And that's it. And you let go and you move on and you get a new job, or you get a new partner, or whatever, or you don't, or you know, like, as long as you know you're worthy and that you're in your power, nobody can take that from you unless you give it to them, right? If you know that you're good enough and somebody treats you like shit, you're not going to internalize that and go, oh, something's wrong with me. You're going to say, their loss, no problem, peace, thanks for taking the trash out for me. Right? And not that there's any, it's not even a projection of that person being bad. It's about knowing your worth. It's about, no, I deserve better. I'm going to stand in my power and I'm going to love myself. You know, it's not very common to love yourself these days. Okay. The only constant is change. How are you resisting change? So the only constant is change. So how are you resisting it? What's going on in your life that's changing right now that you're resisting? That you're like, I don't want that to happen, or emotionally, or anything. And really look at that. And so then what is your perspective of change? What is your perspective of the situation? This goes right into the mind, right into the belief system, right into that third eye crown energy of like being able to know your beliefs or not. Right? What are your beliefs? Are you strong in your beliefs? Have you even thought about what you really believe in? I know at one point I never thought about what I believed in, and I was like, my beliefs? What do you mean? I don't know. And now years later, I'm like, I'm rewriting my beliefs because I'm a fucking rock star and I know how awesome I am. Right? And so just being able to shift into that energy, into that knowing, right? So yeah, in order to shift out of, being overwhelmed by all the change, shift your perspective. Anchor in the truth that the only constant is change. This is the only constant. It's always going to change. So when good things are happening, be grateful because it's going to change. When bad things are happening, be grateful because it's going to change, right? And then last but not least, implementing new systems. So health, work, home life, integrating harmony, okay? Integrating harmony. All right, let's be quick because it's already been an hour. Thank you guys. Look at solar plexus right on the top. Right on the top. Confirmation. So this is the Sacred Geometry Activation book. I'm just going to clear the energies, calling your higher self, my higher self, any guides of 100% pure love and light that want to come through. And just give me 2 cards, please. 2 cards. What is going to happen this week? What energy do we need to be aware of? Compassion and dynamic. So compassion, the frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. And dynamic. The frequency of dynamic supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequency. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. And change came up with that, right? Dynamic, constantly in motion, right? So understanding, bringing compassion to the constantly emotion, and then passion. I was just like, give me another one. The frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos to the calm of its core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. Okay. Also notice the numbers on here, guys. 15, which is a 6, which is all about material or physical. Where's your focus? 34 is a 7, but also I think 3, 4. Oh, look. 3, 4, and 2, 3. 3, 4, 2, 3. Whenever I see any incremental numbers, then I think of forward movement, right? So here's confirmation of more forward movement. Also, this becomes a 7, and this is a 5, right? So 5 is all about change. 7, there's lots. I can't the thing I'm thinking of is like our chakra system, like our basic chakra system has 7, but there's so much significance with 7 that I don't even know where to begin. So do your own research on that. What is the spiritual significance of the number 7? Okay, beautiful. And then we have the angel therapy deck, and look right on the top, past life issue. Okay, guys, we're clearing our DNA, clearing our trauma, clearing our patterns from past lives in this lifetime, because guess what? All trauma from anything is stored in our light body, in our subtle bodies, in our emotional body, in our mental body, in our physical body. So you have the power to transmute that. Oh my God. Okay, look. Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God. Ascended Masters. Okay, we'll go start with that one. So this is just affirming, guys, like, we're so guided, we're so protected. Like, don't even worry. Everything is going to be okay. All right. The Ascended Masters are with us. These are beings that have come down, manifested in physical reality to teach us about consciousness, to teach us about evolving into a higher state of being. Okay. So they're with us. You're always protected. Connect to them. Call them in. Say, Ascended Masters of 100% pure love and light, please come be with me now in this time. I really, really need help. I really need understanding. I really need something. Please give me something, right? And then we have this wild ass trilogy here. We got that solar plexus chakra coming through again. That past life one coming through again, which, remember, that's our power center. What are you giving your power away to? It's probably connected to past lives. And then vegetarian, vegan, change up your diet. What did I say? Of course, because this is the Virgo New Moon right now, guys. So that's, of course, what's going to help us to clear and purify our physical body from past lifetimes. And it's going to help us to activate and to empower us. So it says, solar plexus, it is safe for you to be powerful and take charge of your life in positive ways. Past life issue. This situation has a basis in one of your previous lifetimes. Ask your angels to help you remember, release, learn, and heal from your past experiences. And then vegetarian, vegan. Fresh organic fruits and vegetables give you a boost of high life force energy, which elevates your spiritual frequency. Exactly. And then last one here, Ascended Masters. Powerful, loving, and wise spiritual teachers are watching over and guiding you. I promise. I promise. You're so protected. I really love this one. Look at Jesus up there. Who do we got? I really don't know. Kuan Yin? Maybe Kuan Yin. And then maybe like Shiva. I'm not really sure, to be honest. Buddha? I'm not sure. Oh, I dropped the cards, so I'm not meant to show you guys. All right, and then we're gonna get one more card from the Beyond Lemuria deck, which I need to put my book back in the box, because when I used it the other week, I didn't do that, and it's in my room, and I was wondering where my deck went, and I found it in the back of my car when I came to do the live. Or the energy update. All right, guys, Ancient Lemuria, please speak to us and tell us what we need to hear for this week, or for this moment, depending on when you're watching. Fire. Solaris Sublime. I have no idea. And again, I don't have the book with me, but holy shit. Talk about some real freaking light body activations. Look at this. Look at the eyes opening, the dragons. I mean, dragons are very spiritual. Spiritual. They're powerful spiritual guidance on our path. Like, there's a dragon meditation I did, and I went into my meditation and it was like, what color? And it was like, one time it was green and one time it was pink, but also my dragon said, I'm every color, girl. Don't even worry. Whatever you need, I got you. So then whenever I'd go into my meditation and connect to my dragon, I would change the color because my dragon was my higher self of everything, right? So it's just really, really cool. So that's really what I'm seeing in this card here, like with the opening up of the chakras and the dragons representing like our spiritual path and our spiritual healing. So yeah, that is all that I have, and we have somebody else here, so I'm gonna go see what's going on. Welcome to my zoo of a home. This is why I can never get anything done, but I still get things done. So anyway, I'm sending you guys so much love, and have the best week. Again, don't forget to comment and let me know what you thought. Let me know what you really connected with. Like the video, subscribe so that you get them. I put these out every week on Monday. So yeah, it's really starting to become a thing. So I'm really, really excited. Oh, also changed my name to Translucent Truth Yoga. So now on all my platforms, it's Translucent Truth Yoga. So I'm working on getting all that done. So I'm sending you guys all so much love. Have the best week. Bye.